Hello everyone, it's me again, and today I'm going to show you guys a really cool Junk Speeder Synchron combo for TCG Blazing Dominion. Now initially I wasn't going to make a combo for Synchron and TCG Blazing Dominion because I was going to wait until Glorious Gallery. The reason why is because Synchrons are missing a lot of really good cards that are in that set. Basically Synchrons aren't at full power right now because they're missing Junk Meister and Junk Armor. That was pretty much the reason why I didn't want to post any Synchron combos yet because Meister and Armor are crucial to the Synchron strategy. Pretty much I didn't want to make a combo guide because the deck would become obsolete in a couple of weeks. Junk Armor and Junk Meister are honestly really that good. The cards are flat out broken. They honestly change how you play the deck, which is a really great thing, but a really bad thing if you're trying to make a combo guide. Now the reason why I decided to make a Synchron video is because nobody else is making any Synchron combos. Now it makes a lot of sense to me why people are ignoring Synchrons for other decks because it's not really a top tier strategy. When you look online, a lot of people like to prioritize on the competitive archetypes in the set, mainly because a lot of people are competitive players. They want to play the deck competitively and take it to tournaments, so it makes a ton of sense why people aren't playing Synchrons. However, it makes me really sad because I want to see some Synchron videos, I want to see some combos and some deck lists, and nobody else is posting anything. I went to type in Junk Speeder Synchron combo because I want to watch a couple videos, but the only videos that come up are my own. It's honestly really funny, but I don't want to watch my own videos. I want to watch a video someone else made, but unfortunately there are no videos for me to watch. It makes me really sad because Synchrons are one of my favorite decks ever. I love the Synchron archetype. I also really like Yusei's Warriors. I think those cards are really cool. Also Stardust Dragon, this card is amazing, one of my favorite cards ever. My channel is also really well known for having a lot of Synchron combos. Whenever a new Synchron card comes out, I always post a combo on them. This is one of the reasons why I felt like I had to make a Synchron video. I always get a lot of comments from people asking me to make a Synchron combo video, so I guess I'm gonna make one for TCG Blazing Dominion. Like I said, I really wasn't planning on making a video, but I guess if no one else is gonna make a video, I'll make one. So hopefully you guys enjoy this video because I know a lot of my subscribers are Synchron fans. It's honestly a really cool and fun archetype. So I'm gonna show you guys a really cool one card Synchron Anti-Nibiru combo. Now beating Nibiru is really nice because for a long time the rock was a really big problem for Synchrons. Even after Synchrons got support in the TCG and the legendary 5Ds decks, Nibiru was still a really big problem for them. That deck really had no good way to beat Nibiru. This all changes now with their new support in Blazing Dominion. Synchrons destroy Nibiru. Synchrons only got 2 new cards in Blazing Dominion, but trust me, both of these cards are really broken. When I say these cards are insane, they're honestly game breaking for the Synchron archetype. The monster card is called Assault Sonic Warrior. This card is incredible. Basically, this card is a free special summon, and on summon it's also a rota for a Synchron monster. What makes this card really good is that it's so versatile, it can be a starter or an extender. The spell card Junk Signal is even more broken. This card is an Omni Negate if your opponent tries to respond to the activation of your Synchro monster effect. That means if your opponent tries to activate Ash Blossom on your Junk Speeder, you get to negate that. That is really strong. On top of that, this card can also help you dodge effects at target. That means if your opponent activates Effect Veil or Imperm, you get to dodge that, which is very good. This card also turns any normal summon into a starter. I think I said this when this card first got revealed in the OCG, but I really do mean it. This card is hands down one of the greatest support cards any archetype has ever gotten in Yu-Gi-Oh! So basically, Junk Signal is the GOAT card of this archetype. Along with another card called Zaylin the Shackle Dragon, it makes Synchrons really good now. Junk Speeder used to be a really hard choke point for Synchrons because it was really hard to resolve that card in the modern environment. Not anymore, Zaylin and Junk Signal make it really easy to resolve Speeder. I'm gonna show you guys a really nice anti-Nibiru Junk Speeder combo. This combo doesn't only beat Nibiru, it would also beat any card that would try to interrupt Speeder. I will also show you a couple different endboards that you can make if you're afraid of Cool Tune or you want the highest ceiling combo you can make. For this combo, you're gonna need one card in your hand plus a discard. You're gonna need Dual Evolution Assault Zone in your hand plus any card you can send to the grave. The card that I'm gonna have in my hand is another copy of Dual Evolution Assault Zone. The reason why is because I don't want to have another card in my hand that's an extender. You're gonna activate Dual Evolution Assault Zone in your hand. Now you get to add one card from your deck to your hand that mentions Assault Mode Activate that's a monster. You're gonna add Assault Sonic Warrior from your deck to your hand because this card does mention Assault Mode Activate. Now you're gonna activate the effect of Assault Sonic Warrior in your hand. You get to summon this card from your hand if you control a card on your field that mentions Assault Mode Activate. Now you're gonna special summon this card from your hand because you control the field spell. Now the other effect of Assault Sonic Warrior will activate here. If this card is summoned, you get to add a Synchron monster from your deck to your hand. We're gonna add Scrap Synchron here. Now you're gonna activate the effect of Scrap Synchron in your hand. If you Synchro summon a Synchro monster that requires a Synchron tuner as material, you get to use this card in your hand as material. So we're gonna take our Scrap Synchron and our Assault Sonic Warrior to Synchro summon into Scrap Warrior. This card does require a Synchron tuner as material. Now you're gonna activate the effect of Scrap Warrior here. You get to take either Junk Synchron or a card that mentions Junk Warrior, either add the card to your hand or send it to the grave. You're gonna grab Synchro Fellowship and add the card to your hand. Now you're gonna activate Synchro Fellowship here. Now you get to add one Junk Synchron to your hand and any monster that mentions either Stardust Dragon or Junk Warrior. After you have to discard one card. So you're gonna add Junk Synchron to your hand and Stardust Synchron. Stardust Synchron is a proper target because this card does mention Stardust Dragon. Now you have to discard one card from your hand, so you're just gonna discard the other copy of Dual Evolution. Now because you haven't normal summoned yet, you're gonna normal summon Stardust Synchron and activate this card's effect. Now you get to add one spell or trap from your deck to your hand that mentions Stardust Dragon. You're gonna add Junk Signal here. You can add this card because it does mention Stardust Dragon. Now you're gonna take your Stardust Synchron and your Scrap Warrior to Synchro summon into Zaylin the Shackle Dragon. Now this is really nice because this is to summon 4 so your opponent could not activate Nibiru yet. Summon number 1 was Assault Sonic Warrior, summon 2 was Scrap Warrior, summon 3 was Starter Synchron, and summon 4 was Zaylin. This means your opponent cannot activate Nibiru yet, but they can activate the card next time you summon a monster. You're going to activate the grave effect of your Synchro Fellowship. You get to banish this card from the grave and target a Synchro you control, decrease the level of that monster by 1, and now you get another normal summon for a Synchron monster. So you're going to banish this card from the grave and decrease the level of Zaylin by 1. Now Zaylin will become level 6. Now off the extra normal summon you got, you're going to normal summon Junk Synchron. Now this is going to be summon 5, so your opponent can activate Nibiru. If your opponent activates Nibiru here, it's really good. The reason why is because when you summon Junk Synchron, that card's effect will activate on summon. Now you get to summon 1 level 2 or lower monster from your grave. That means if your opponent wants to activate Nibiru here, they have to activate it as Chain Link 2. This means now you can activate the effect of Zaylin. Normally you would have to activate Junk Signal to activate the effect of Zaylin. The reason why is because the effect of Zaylin could only be activated as a Chain Link 3 or higher. But because Junk Synchron's effect is giving you another window, you actually don't have to activate Junk Signal here. So your opponent would not activate Nibiru yet. They would wait for you to summon Assault Sonic Warrior from your grave and then activate Nibiru. So now you're going to use the effect of Junk Synchron here to bring back your Assault Sonic Warrior. Now this is the point when your opponent's going to activate Nibiru. Now you're going to chain your Junk Signal here and tribute away your Assault Sonic Warrior. Now because you have a Chain Link high enough, you're going to activate the effect of Zaylin. Now Zaylin will negate and destroy Nibiru. Now off the effect of Junk Signal, you're going to summon Full Speed Warrior. Now the effect of Full Speed Warrior will activate here. You get to add a spell or trap from your deck to your hand that mentions Junk Warrior. We're going to add another copy of Junk Signal. So it honestly feels really great that Synchrons finally have a good anti-Nibiru combo in the TCG. No longer will the rock scare Synchrons. Now you're going to take your Junk Synchron and your Full Speed Warrior to Synchro Summon into Junk Speeder. Now if your opponent tried to have a different hand trap here and they didn't have Nibiru, it's fine. You would still have Signal and Zaylin. If your opponent had Ash Blossom here, you have Signal to negate that. If your opponent has Valor or Imperm, then all you have to do is tribute your Junk Speeder. You would basically play around any hand trap here. Now you're going to activate the effect of Junk Speeder here. Now you get to summon as many Synchron tuners from your deck as possible with different levels. Now from your deck, you're going to summon level 1 Jet Synchron, level 2 Assault Synchron, level 3 Junk Synchron, and level 4 Starter Synchron. Now the next steps in this combo are incredibly variable because it depends on what kind of Synchro monsters you play. Synchrons can go in a lot of different directions here depending on how you want to Synchro climb. I'm just going to show you the way that I like to do it, but you can do whatever way you want. You don't have to play the exact same Synchro monsters I play. Now I'm going to Synchro Summon into my Rose Witch by using my Junk Speeder and my Jet Synchron as material. Now 2 effects are going to activate here. You get to activate the effect of Jet Synchron and your Rose Witch. Now Jet Synchron's effect will only matter here if you're playing another Junk monster in your deck. When that card is sent to the grave as Synchro material, you get to add a Junk monster from your deck to your hand. Now like I said, we don't have Junk monster yet, so I'm not going to add the card. I'm also not playing another target, but if you're playing one, you can add a card here. Now the Rose Witch effect will activate here, and now I get to send a copy of Garden Rose Maiden from my extra deck to the grave. You also get to send a plant monster from your deck to the grave, but I'm not playing another one. I really don't want to play another brick in the main deck. Now you're going to take your Rose Witch and your Assault Synchron and use the card to Synchro material. You're going to summon Axel Synchro Stardust Dragon. Now the effect of Axel Synchro Stardust Dragon will activate on Synchro Summon. Now you get to summon a level 2 or lower tuner monster from your grave. Now you're going to summon any monster here that isn't Assault Synchron. I'm just going to summon my Jet Synchron, but you can also summon Scrap Synchron. Now you're going to activate the effect of Axel Synchro Stardust Dragon here and tribute the card. Now you get to summon one Stardust Dragon from your extra deck who's treated as a proper Synchro Summon. Now also you have to Synchro Summon here. You're going to take your Stardust Dragon and your Stardust Synchron to summon the Crimson Dragon. Now when you Synchro Summon the Crimson Dragon here, you also get to add a copy of Synchro Rumble from your deck to your hand. I'm just not playing a copy of the card because even though the card is an extender, it's also a brick. I'm just not running the card because I don't want to play another brick in my main deck. Now you're going to activate the effect of Assault Synchron in your grave. What this card will let you do is by banishing this card, you get to summon a monster when it's tributed. Now you're going to bring back your Axel Synchro Stardust Dragon. Now you're going to take your Junk Synchron and your Axel Synchro Stardust Dragon to summon Jiraishin. Now you're going to activate the effect of the Crimson Dragon here and target Jiraishin. Now you get to summon one level 11 Dragon Synchro monster from your extra deck. This is also treated as a proper Synchro Summon as well. So now here you're going to summon Shooting Majestic Star Dragon. Now you're going to activate the effect of Stardust Synchron in your grave. You get to tribute one monster you control to summon this card from your hand or grave. So you're going to tribute your Jet Synchron here to summon your Stardust Synchron from your grave. Now you honestly have a lot of different choices here and I'll explain which ones are better. If you're trying to go for the anti-Cooltoon board because Cooltoon is like the best deck in the format, you can actually summon a Light and Dark Chaos Angel. Because Fellowship made Zaylin a level 6, you can actually take that card in Stardust Synchron to summon Chaos Angel. This is also a Light and Dark Chaos Angel too, which is crazy. Cooltoon has a really hard time outing this because pretty much all their removal is monster based. Basically, if they don't hard draw Imperm, they lose. But this board also has the lowest amount of interruptions on the opponent's turn as well. What you get to do here is activate the effect of Garden Rose Maiden in your grave and banish this card. Now you get to summon one Dragon Synchro from your grave. You're going to summon your Zaylin here. So you don't get that many interruptions here if you want to go for the anti-Cooltoon board. Basically, you get one negate off your Shooting Majestic Star, you get a negate off Zaylin and Signal, and you also get a board wipe off Jiraishin. That's honestly not too many in the modern game. But at the same time, Chaos Angel makes it really hard for your opponent to interact with you. All Synchro monsters you control are unaffected by your opponent's activated monster effects. Also, none of your monsters can be destroyed by battle. Now this is the board that you should only make if you're playing against Cooltoon, but I'll show you an even better board. The next board I'm going to show you guys is is going for combo sealing. We want to get as many negates as possible. So instead of summoning Chaos Angel here, you're going to summon Disbatter. This card will let you target one banished light or dark monster and summon the card to your field. You're going to summon back your Assault Synchron here. Now you're going to take your Assault Synchron and your Disbatter to summon the Crimson Dragon again. You can't activate this card's effect again because it's once per turn, but it's a quick effect so you can activate it again on the opponent's turn. Now you're going to set your signal and end your turn here. Now this board is really nice because you can also play around Abolenitas. Now I know Branded Dracotail is gone, that deck is destroyed on the ban list, but you also have to be worried about Branded. Branded's honestly pretty decent, I see a number of people playing it. It's also really nice to play around set Fallen of White Dragon. A lot of people are splashing that engine right now. So if you see your opponent set a monster, this is what you're going to do. You're going to activate the effect of the Crimson Dragon and target your Zaylin. Now you get to summon one level 7 Dragon Synchro from your extra deck. You're going to summon Kewl Belt here. What this card will do is when this card is Synchro summoned, you get to target one card on the field and destroy it. This is how you play around set Fallen of White Dragon. Abolenitas is really scary because that card is really powerful. We have a full board of dragons, we cannot lose them. Now you can also target your Shooting Majestic Star Dragon or Duration to summon the level 11 Trishula. What this card will do is when this card is Synchro summoned, you can banish 3 cards your opponent controls. That's honestly really good because it doesn't target, but it will miss the timing. That's why you have to make sure it's Chainlink 1. Now I don't feel the need to play Trishula, I'm just gonna play Kewl Belt, but you can play whichever one you want as long as you beat set Fallen of White Dragon. Now because you destroyed a card on the field off the effect of Kewl Belt, you get to activate the effect of your Rose Witch. This card will summon itself from the grave when a card on the field is destroyed. So now you have a free body on the field to tribute off the effect of Junk Signal. So now when your opponent would activate a card you want to negate, you're going to activate Junk Signal here. You're going to tribute away your Rose Witch so you can summon Stardust Dragon. Zaylin will also negate whatever card you want. Also now when your opponent would activate a card to destroy a card on the field, you get to activate the effect of your Stardust Dragon. You get to tribute this card on the field to negate the activation and destroy that card. You also have the board wipe off the effect of Duration. You also have a double negate off the effect of Shooting Majestic Star Dragon. When your opponent would activate any card, you banish this card on the field to negate that. This will also trigger the effect of your Assault Synchron in the grave to banish itself to bring back your Shooting Majestic Star. The effect of Shooting Majestic Star to negate something is also not once per turn. So when your opponent would activate another card you want to negate, you get to negate that too. So this is honestly pretty nice. So in terms of combo sealing, this is the board that you always want to make. The reason why is because you get the most amount of negates and interruption on the opponent's turn. You also get to play around the most amount of things. This will beat set Fallen of White Dragon so you can't get hit by Abolenitas. Honestly, it's pretty good here. This is the board that I would always make, but if you guys are really worried about Cool Tune, you can do the anti-Cool Tune board. Light and Dark Chaos Angel is basically borderline impossible for them to out. Okay, now that the combo's done, I'm about to wrap up this video. Hope you guys enjoyed watching it. I do have a Junk Speeder Synchron combo guide I'm going to make in the future, but those videos take me a bit of time to make. It's really difficult to make them really quickly because they'll take a lot of work, so I'm not exactly sure when I'm going to have that video up, but I'll try to have it sometime soon. The worst part is the longer it takes me to make that combo guide, the older it's going to get and the closer we'll get to Junkmeister. It basically means if I don't make the video very quickly, it's going to be obsolete really fast. Like I said, no idea when I'll be able to make that combo guide, but I really want to make one before Blazing Dominion's over. I think Glorious Gallery comes out like the first week of June, so it's going to come out really quickly. We basically have like 3 weeks before Junkmeister comes out. I'm fairly certain Glorious Gallery does come out the first week of June, so it's going to be here really soon. Now before the video is over, I'll show you guys my deck list for anyone who wants it. It's really similar to the deck list I brought in the tournament I won. If you guys didn't see, I did win the sneak peek tournament for Blazing Dominion with Synchrons. I did not have full draws Harmonia though. All I did was I took out Harmonia for Droplet and it worked out pretty well. This time I did keep Droplet in the main deck, but I took out Imperm. Anyways, that's it for me. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. Have a good one and take care. Also, I will try to have that Synchron combo guide up really soon. No promises though. Alright, see you guys soon. Take care.